To prepare a birthday dinner for her son, the nanny took advantage of the fact that the female CEO wasn't home and shockingly stewed the CEO's daughter's beloved pet dog for hot pot. The CEO was usually overseas running her business and rarely came home. Her husband had passed away many years ago. To the CEO's daughter, the family dog was her only companion and family. To make sure someone looked after her daughter's daily life, the CEO specially hired a relative from her hometown to be the nanny before she left the country. The nanny thought she had a special status and always wanted to be in charge of everything at home. She especially hated the dog and would often beat it with a broom. When the CEO's daughter caught her and stopped her, the nanny defended herself, saying that dogs won't behave unless they're disciplined. One day, without the CEO's daughter knowing, the nanny brought her son into the CEO's house. The nanny's son had been poorly raised since childhood. He used the CEO's daughter's towel and even wore her pajamas without permission. The CEO's daughter saw the nanny's son wandering around the house and got furious, arguing with the nanny. She said this was her home and the nanny had no right to bring outsiders in. But the nanny didn't listen at all and instead called the CEO's daughter petty. What shocked the daughter even more was that the nanny actually let her son move into the villa. The CEO's daughter was shaking with anger and called her mother to complain. But on the phone, the CEO said the nanny was an old friend and told her daughter not to be difficult. Left with no choice, the daughter took her dog into her own room. She warned the nanny not to touch her dog without permission. In fact, that day was the nanny's son's birthday. He asked his mother if he could invite friends over for a birthday party. The nanny thought the big villa was going to waste anyway, so she agreed to the request. To please her son, the nanny actually set her sights on the pet dog for dinner. She had always disliked the dog, thinking city dogs were spoiled and noisy, and had long wanted to teach it a lesson. The puppy wasn't feeling well, so the CEO's daughter had gone far away to get medicine for it. While no one was home, the nanny secretly caught the dog and cooked it into hot pot. Around dinner time, the nanny's son's classmates started arriving one after another. To show off in front of his friends, he said this villa was bought by his family. Everyone looked at him with envy. By then, the nanny had already finished preparing dinner. The guests smelled the aroma and asked what kind of meat it was. The nanny proudly said it was a dog they had raised for years. She added that in her village, they killed many dogs every year, and that dogs were meant to be eaten. At first, the nanny's son was a little worried, afraid the CEO's daughter would be angry when she returned. But the nanny said the CEO was close to her and would definitely not blame her, and told everyone to eat quickly. So the group gathered around the table, eating hot pot and even opening up the CEO's collection of fine wine. Meanwhile, the CEO's daughter had driven over 200 kilometers to get medicine for her dog. She rushed back home in a hurry. The guests asked who the CEO's daughter was. The nanny's son lied and said she was a maid the family had hired. As soon as the CEO's daughter entered, she smelled a strange aroma. She saw the hot pot on the table and then noticed dog fur in the trash can. Her heart sank instantly. She rushed over and asked what it was. The nanny's son casually said the pot had her pet dog in it and even told her to taste it. The nanny chimed in, saying the dog was already sick and wouldn't live much longer, so cooking it was a mercy. After hearing that, the CEO's daughter completely broke down. The dog was a gift from her dying father. It was her emotional support. She lost control and lunged at the nanny to hit her. The nanny's son shoved her away and shouted at her, calling her a maid who dared to hit her master. The CEO's daughter was shaking with rage and pulled out her phone to call her mother. The nanny's son grabbed her phone and smashed it, then called on his friends to beat her up. They beat her while yelling that a maid had no right to talk back to her employer. Seeing the CEO's daughter collapsed on the ground, the nanny told everyone to drag her into the storage room. Then, she invited everyone to continue the birthday party. At that moment, the female CEO arrived home. She had been on a business trip overseas and had been missing her daughter, so she ended the trip early to come home and surprise her daughter. As soon as she entered and didn't see her daughter, she asked the nanny. The nanny lied and said the CEO's daughter had run off with some street thug. She claimed she tried to advise the girl and got beaten up instead, showing the bruises from the earlier struggle. The nanny's son quickly pretended to be mature, saying he was willing to help the daughter become a better person. The CEO was shocked to hear her daughter had been involved with a delinquent. She immediately told her assistant to find out where her daughter had gone. She also felt deeply guilty for not caring enough about her daughter all these years. The nanny took the chance to praise her son and even suggested marrying him to the CEO's daughter. daughter. She claimed that this would help the CEO's daughter become more sensible. The CEO didn't agree immediately. She just said she would think about it. But she had no idea what a terrible ordeal her daughter had just gone through. Just a second before she stepped through the door, her daughter was still being pinned to the floor and beaten. And the old friend she had treated like family all along was the very cause of all this tragedy.